Hi, Max. Regarding your win last year and the recent performance of the RB21, can we expect something great from Max Verstappen this weekend?
We'll see. I mean, first of all, wait and see how the weather will evolve, of course, over the coming days. The last few races, I think, on average, have been very decent. But of course, if you want to win more, we need to be more competitive. So we'll see what we get.
Thank you.
You talked a few races ago, Max, about how much you were kind of enjoying it. Maybe at the point where it didn't look like you'd be in the title fight, but at the different venues, you can see how the fans are buying in to the way you're finishing the season. There's a lot of people really wanting to see you win. Are you appreciating that? And are you still driving with as much fun as you were a few events ago?
Yeah, I mean, we just try to do everything we can till the end. I mean, it's 36 points. It's still a decent gap. I think over the last few rounds we have done a very good job as a team. But of course, if we want to close that down further, we need to be ahead constantly now, and that will be, I think, a big challenge. But we'll see. I mean, I'm just excited to be here, and hopefully it will be a good weekend for us.
Hi, Max. Obviously, you were saying there about the need to be ahead for the remaining 4 weekends of this year. This being a sprint format and maybe a little nod to the weather forecast as well, again, based on what you did last year. Does that give you a sense that this could be a big opportunity for you, having a sprint format in play too?
Yeah, but in the rain, it's always very risky. It can work for you, it can work against you. Also, this season, I think in the wet, McLaren has been very, very strong to control the overheating, for example, on the intermediate tires. So it's not a given that if it rains, that suddenly, we will be the ones to beat. So we just wait and see. I'm not really too stressed about it. We'll just give everything we have. If that's enough, then we'll probably close up. But if not, then not. It's quite straightforward.
When a sprint weekend arrives, you are very reliable in terms of wins. Do you feel like this weekend it can be the key for the World Championship?
I think you're thinking a little bit too far ahead. For me, I just want to have a good weekend. Hopefully we'll be competitive and we'll be able to challenge McLaren. But I don't know. I mean, for example, the weekend in Mexico, they were really, really strong. So we have to wait and see. I hope, of course, till the end of the season we can still, fight for more wins. But it's impossible to know at the moment.
What if I told you that Max Verstappen could pull off one of the most improbable comebacks in modern Formula One history? Although he arrives in Brazil 36 points behind, the Dutchman seems more confident than ever. Before we continue, let me know in the comments, do you think his pressure-free mentality could give him a real advantage over McLaren? Because the key question is this: is Brazil about to become the turning point Red Bull has been waiting for all season? Stay until the end, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In this analysis, we'll break down why Verstappen and Red Bull arrive at Interlagos with renewed confidence, despite the numbers not being in their favor, and how the circuit conditions could give them back the lead in the championship. Max Verstappen arrives at the Brazilian Grand Prix at a crucial point in the 2025 season, and he does so with a completely different mindset than the one he displayed during the most tense moments of the year. When a driver with his track record states without hesitation that he feels no pressure, it's not for media strategy. It's because he understands that pressure only benefits those who can't handle it. Verstappen has gone from being the perennial favorite to becoming the hunter, and this has reignited a purer version of himself, the competitor who relishes every challenge, unafraid of losing, but hungry to prove that his talent still transcends circumstances. During the preseason sessions in Sao Paulo, his discourse was more reflective than combative. He spoke of the season in terms of learning, a process where even the car's limitations became an opportunity for growth. He expressed that, although the RB21 wasn't the dominant car, he's proud of having maintained a competitive level and of having pushed the car beyond its technical capabilities. This statement not only demonstrates maturity, it demonstrates an understanding of the long game. Verstappen has accepted that each championship has its own rhythm and that emotional consistency is just as important as speed on the track. When a driver manages to separate the desire to win from the fear of losing, he usually becomes the most dangerous rival of the weekend. Max Verstappen's true strength at this stage of the season lies not in the car or the strategy, but in his mindset. His approach to pressure has evolved so noticeably that even his rivals have taken notice. While other drivers respond to the tension of the championship with cautious or evasive phrases, Verstappen speaks with disconcerting clarity. He doesn't try to project control, he simply possesses it. When he says he doesn't feel pressure, it's because he has learned to channel it into useful energy. This calmness doesn't mean passivity. Verstappen retains his defining aggression, but now he applies it with emotional intelligence. Instead of fighting every detail beyond his control, he channels his energy into what truly matters, extracting the maximum from the car in any condition. Throughout the season, he has demonstrated an astonishing ability to adapt to the limits of the RB21, even when circumstances are not in his favor. In races where others become frustrated with performance, he focuses on pace, tire temperature, and braking precision. Every action is calculated, every move has a purpose. That mental discipline gives them a real advantage over McLaren, whose drivers, although fast, have yet to demonstrate that maturity under pressure. The difference lies not only in talent, but in the emotional management of the moment. Interlagos is a circuit that rewards control, traction, and reading the track, and that's where the RB21 begins to show its most refined strengths. The Brazilian track, with its linked corners and steep elevation changes, demands a perfect balance between stability and responsiveness, a combination that Red Bull has meticulously worked on in the car's latest updates. The team has focused its efforts on optimizing weight distribution and the car's behavior under heavy braking, knowing that the uneven asphalt of Sao Paulo can punish less forgiving chassis. This improvement in front-end sensitivity has given Verstappen back the confidence he needs to attack corners decisively, especially in changing conditions. The weather could be the great equalizer of the weekend, and in that scenario, Red Bull has more reason to feel optimistic than any other team. The forecast indicates a high probability of rain in both qualifying and the sprint race, conditions that historically favor Verstappen. In the wet, his car control and grip reading become almost superhuman. Just recall his performance in Brazil in 2024 when he climbed from 17th to win in a deluge that took out several favorites. The RB21, with its excellent balance of downforce and efficiency, behaves predictably in low-grip conditions, something not all cars achieve. If rain appears, Max won't need the fastest car, just one that responds precisely to his inputs, and that's exactly what Red Bull has fine-tuned. Another advantage lies in tire management. Pirelli will bring the C2, C3, and C4 compounds, a step harder than last year to avoid the excessive wear that plagued the 2024 season. This decision could work in Red Bull's favor. The RB21 has demonstrated a remarkable ability to maintain tire temperatures within the optimal window, especially on circuits with slow and medium-speed corners. At Interlagos, this quality becomes crucial. The track punishes traction on the exit of turns 8 and 12, where poorly managed power destroys the rear compound. Verstappen and his technical team have refined this aspect of performance through detailed degradation simulations, allowing them to plan longer and more flexible stint strategies than McLaren. In a sprint format weekend, where tires must perform at their best in fewer opportunities, this flexibility can be the difference between a winning strategy and a losing one. The relatively short length of the circuit, with 71 laps scheduled, amplifies the tactical opportunities. More laps mean more traffic, more chances for mistakes from rivals, and more room for a well-balanced car to capitalize on every restart or change of pace. Laurent Mekies emphasized that the team arrives with solid data from the wind tunnel and CFD simulations confirming consistent performance in slow corners. The real challenge for Red Bull in Brazil won't just be the performance of the RB21, but the precision with which they execute each strategic decision. In a sprint format race weekend, time and resource management becomes a battle of intelligence rather than speed. There's only 1 hour of practice before the setups are frozen, forcing the team to arrive with perfect simulations and an accurate understanding of the car's behavior. Every ride height adjustment, every engine map, and every wing choice can define the outcome of the weekend. In this scenario, Red Bull has an advantage. Its operational structure is designed to react quickly, and Verstappen adapts with an efficiency few drivers can match. His communication with the engineers is direct, leaving no room for confusion, allowing them to make real-time decisions with a level of synchronization that often leaves their rivals behind. Tire management will be the central focus of the strategy. With the harder compounds designated by Pirelli, tire wear will be less, but keeping them at their ideal temperature will be more complex, especially if rain comes and goes throughout the weekend. Red Bull has worked closely with Pirelli to understand the thermal behavior of the C2, C3, and C4 compounds in mixed conditions, using data from the races in Mexico and Monza as a reference. Their goal is to extend stints long enough to keep strategic options open without compromising speed at critical moments. Verstappen, known for his ability to extend tire life without losing pace, will be the difference maker. While other teams will rely on predictable two-stop strategies, Red Bull could surprise with asymmetrical combinations or risky decisions during changing weather conditions. At Interlagos, controlled improvisation can be just as valuable as pre-planning. Another element that Red Bull must manage precisely is their interaction with traffic. The Brazilian circuit is short and tends to bunch the cars together, especially during the first 20 laps. This forces teams to think beyond simply managing pace. They must anticipate the flow of backmarkers, DRS moments, and potential pit stop windows. Verstappen has proven exceptional in these scenarios, knowing when to concede time to gain strategic position later. Furthermore, Interlagos has a history of races with multiple safety car or virtual safety car interruptions, opening the door to opportunistic strategies. If rain or yellow flags come into play, how quickly Red Bull can adjust its plan will determine whether it competes for a podium finish or the win. The key will be to remain calm and read the track with the same precision with which Verstappen interprets every corner. Brazil will not only test Verstappen's driving skills, but also his ability to redefine the title fight with intelligence and composure. Everything is set for a race where pressure, weather, and strategy will combine in a scenario that could change everything. And it is precisely there that he thrives. If the elements align, we could witness a weekend that rewrites the championship's conclusion and becomes another chapter in the story of his quiet dominance. Now it's time for the audience to weigh in. Will Brazil be Verstappen's rebirth this season? Leave your comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.